Who black women really choose. Black woman begs Mexican men for love, but they don't want her. I am not going to lie. I thought black women only lusted after Brad, but quickly realized black women will date anyone non-black.
The presumed alliance between the people of the area of the world, Latin America and Mexico and Cuba and whatnot, of those areas, are on a mission. They have been masquerading as servants of the system, like black folks have been. They've been masquerading as equal victims, while at the same time working jobs and still receiving monies from the counties next to black folks. They accuse black folks of taking from them, while in turn they take from the black folks they live amongst. They've been riding on the crest and the wave of a victim, and they have been keeping silent on matters of so-called race and equal background footing based on their genealogical connection to black folks who've been in the intellectual realms, who've been trying to wake up the masses of black people to educate them on the blood ties that are common amongst black folks and Latinos. The thing is that the Latinos don't give great rhetoric towards the support, but they attend the meetings of those intellectual black folks, and they sit in silence and let the black intellectuals ramble on and on and on about the unity and the history. But they themselves don't engage in the planning for justice. Neither do they reveal any information, knowing that they know much more about the system because they are accepted as white to those black folks whom come for information to ask for this alliance. And so by doing that, they've been very sneaky. They've been very crafty, and they have been a major crutch in the understanding of racism where it concerns the Negro type of black people. And it's interesting because of the mentality of the black folks who have such a need, a desperation to line up and huddle and align themselves with such folks that they think are of their own. It's like they don't want to see ever the truth, that they in fact don't get treated like black folks. They wonder, like, well, do they ever stop to think or wonder, why is it that their mistreatment isn't on the same level, or even equal to, or even remotely close to equaling to the lifestyle, the overall lifestyle of those who are called Latino, whereas they're accepted in the major arenas of business, politics, and housing. So they aren't, speaking of the Negroes, the black folks, they're not so much angry at the Latinos for the fact that they get so much more than they do. They skip over them and they focus on those traditionally looking white folks that they've been trained to only see as white, to blame them for that problem. And I'm wondering, what do they think that these Latinos are going to do for them when they align with them? What do they think they're going to provide for them? Because they've been trying to do this for decades now. We're not just talking about since 1990s. We're talking about since the 60s, the 50s, as far as I'm knowing. Maybe the 40s and the 30s. But they've been trying to align with these folks for decades. And they keep trying to align with these folks. And they keep saying the same things over and over again in the meetings to get them to see the reality of the racist practicing white supremacy. Now, if they've been on this planet that long living beside us, don't you think they're intelligent enough to know what racism is and how it works? They keep silent and let you talk and talk and talk, but they never take it to the streets. I'm talking about on a mass scale. And they're not really at all demanded to do so by the black people, who think by some magical way that by sitting next to them talking about the issue, they're going to rub off their light skin onto you and make your life better just by being around them and talking to them.
Cross colors, Benetton, that whole thing. It's almost as if we feel it is some sort of death sentence to be consigned to only being around black folks. We want something else. We can't be around the pinkest ones, the whitest ones. Well, something, just something non-white. That's how it seems to me.
Divestors will worship non-black men and yet be single for years. Why are they doing all of this when it's blatantly obvious they aren't getting wifed? Who black women really choose?